Well, hello. Good morning and welcome to this webinar on our new offering from Prime Talent. It's wonderful to have you all here today. It's wonderful to be able to share this information with you and to get a response from you to answer your questions, your curiosity, and to be able to uh, set the stage for what's coming up quite soon. I'm sure you have all come across this information on our website. I'm sure you are coming here now to have a little bit of a better idea, and you're welcome to ask questions whenever required. Let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Michael Devine. I represent Prime Talent, and we will talk about Prime Talent in a bit. So, I have an industry experience of over 25 years. I've worked with the business applications, enterprise level of business applications in a technical and a functional capacity. So, post that, I've been involved with a lot of academia and education, transformation, and skilling, upskilling, cross skilling. So, I bring a lot of experience into that as far as how corporates work and the expectations from the industry. It's lovely to interact with you today, and I hope I would be able to give you satisfactory answers so that you would be interested and you would take this forward in the best way possible for yourselves. Now, I represent Prime Talent, and Prime Talent over the years, over the last 7 to 8 years, we have been involved in and around. I mean, Europe, the UK, and the United States. We've been involved with a lot of transformation. So in the UK, we provide training and upskilling, cross skilling in various domains. We do software development in full stack, that is a double full stack. We do cybersecurity trainings. And we also do trainings for IT specialists. So basically, IT technicians, which would involve or which would lead to an outcome of being involved with IT support and crafting a career into networking, security, and infrastructure, cloud infrastructure. So we have courses which are aligned towards the occupational maps recommended by recommended and recognized by the Department for Education. So it's these occupational maps, you would find them on Skills England. And they address the requirements for the job industry in the UK, especially, with very targeted what we would call KSBs, knowledge, skills, and behaviors, as part of a learning program that aligns students, prospective job holders, prospective learners who would move into the industry in various capacities, in the capacity of employment, in the capacity of self-employment, and consultancy and services and other kinds of things. So these occupational maps give you a very clear idea of pathway that is something that also aligns you to a timeline for success. And the rate at which we are going with the industry today and technology today, these things are getting quicker and quicker. So that's a wonderful thing. Also, in order to be able to be more aligned to the industry, our courses always are, in addition to being aligned to the occupational maps from Skills England, they also consist of an industry certification. So a cybersecurity or an IT support or IT technician or an networking and security in cloud infrastructure, software development, all of them align to various an industry level certification that we support with. So we support those certifications for those courses. Today, we are going to talk about something that is being offered by Gateway. Okay, and this is actually something that is an L3 level course. But before getting to the L3 level course, there's a prerequisite that an L2 level has to be completed for whoever is aspiring to get into the L3 and then, be able to benefit from the outcomes of that course. Yeah. So the L3 course is based on social media, okay, social media for marketing. And it's pretty obvious social media is something today that is a base, is a domain that could be targeted. There are huge numbers of folk that could be targeted with specific information and be introduced to lovely courses, to upskilling plans, and things like that. So, in order to do that, there is an L2 or a level 2 prerequisite that needs to be completed. And the level 2 is what we were talking about first. And the level 2 is the fundamentals of social media into marketing. Okay, so that's what we are looking at here. And in order to do that, I would like to show you the overview of that particular course, that particular pathway, and how that would be implemented. So let's have a look at that particular course. I'll pull up my screen. I'll share my screen, and you would have a little bit of a visual about this particular course. There will be a time for questions a little later, and then we could address those. So in the meantime, let's have a look at something like this. I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible? The course is a level 2 course, Social Media Marketing Fundamentals for E-commerce. So that's what the course is titled. And the overview of this qualification is a level 2. It's a Social Media Marketing Fundamentals. Okay, and the GLH, or the guided learning hours, as we say, is 50. Okay, so this would be in the range of around 2 weeks. Okay, and it would be a daily equivalent of a daytime course. So it could be a 9 to 2 every day, every weekday. The assessment methods are based upon evidence of a portfolio of assignments and assessments that would be, uh, you know, that would be walked through on a daily basis with, being guided learning hours. There would be an instructor who would walk all the learners through that process, in addition to the learning hours. The objective and the scope of this is to understand how social media marketing is used. Okay, primarily for promotion of e-commerce. So when we say e-commerce, we are looking at e-commerce, and we are looking at it more from an online perspective, more from a web-oriented perspective. Of course, the web could be also used to target or to guide prospective buyers to physical locations to be able to involve with e-commerce in various ways. It's not only purchase; it's also the supply of services and goods and other things that are involved in e-commerce. So now, in order to do that, promotion is very important. And in promotion, as wide as it is, when we talk about campaign management and we talk about lead generation and we talk about digital visibility, then we also understand, social media itself is a behemoth. Basically, you using social media to acquire leads is a very productive process that could be actually leveraged in order to get a good base of initial warm leads or initial leads for that matter. Okay, so to be able to understand how one would go about learning something like this, that's what this course is aimed at. understand the role of social media, marketing in promoting products, services, identifying and then certain trends, to be able to know territories and other kinds of things, that other kinds of data analytics that go with social media marketing. So but the onus is, or the primary focus is on the social media itself here, and the toolkits that could be used for that. So search engine optimization, as you know, SEO is very important. So principles of how that is going to be used in this, in this targeted way. Utilizing analytical tools to measure, evaluate effectiveness, productivity, optimization, conduct market research. Campaign management itself is a wonderful thing. To be able to do a good campaign, there's a lot of background studies that would go into the demographics, would go into territory, and obviously would go into product and also competition. So it's very interesting market research in order to develop a campaign that is going to be effective. Um, yes. And then, of course, design and present comprehensive marketing campaign proposals. So at the end of the day, it's the campaign proposal and the ability to run a campaign and to be able to glean, effective leads out of that and then follow it up. That's what this course is intended for you to actually acquire. So let's see how we would do it. 2 weeks. 2 weeks implementation plan, 50 gig guided learning hours. So 25 per week. If you break it down into 5 per day, that would be what we are looking at from an instructor-led point of view. We would have you would have to start off with the basic introduction of social media marketing. Ideally, because this is something that is open to all. So, we would like everybody to be aware of social media marketing, social media itself, and how marketing works, and leveraging social media and the data from social media for marketing fundamentals. Okay, search engine optimization, as I mentioned, very important to be able to use these tools, which we call search engines, to scrape the web or to be able to, acquire information, acquire productive information. So that the queries that are given to search engines need to be optimized. So that process is something that is a very important part of using these toolkits. And then, of course, analytics that come with whatever the results are. Market research, campaign planning, generally management of campaigns. So we are looking at, you know, understanding a targeted market, like I mentioned, demographics, various forms of demographics, whether it's geographical or whether it is, your prospective customer. So basically, human demographics also. That's basically what we're looking at. And you're looking also at competition. You're looking at performance of the competition. You're looking at product proposals, value propositions, and many other things like that. So market research, planning of campaigns, very important. So that is something you would be introduced to. So the 5 Ws, and of course the one H. But generally the 5 Ws: why, who, what, where, when. So these are the questions you would ask to build stories in order to be able to build upon them and come up with a top down approach of how campaigns could be developed and implemented. Okay, so that's something. You got content development. Obviously, we need to have material. We need to have material that interests people, that pulls people, or holds their interest. We know that attention is something that as the years have gone by, it has become smaller and smaller. That window that a good campaign would have to, hold the attention of a prospect has become smaller. So content is very important. The design of, the user experience, what the user sees, or what an interested party sees through various forms. And the primary form here would be the online form, which would be web applications or basically websites or web-based promotions. So content strategy, that's an important thing, appropriate for audience, what kind of content, and understanding content. to be able to hold somebody's attention long enough to be able to see offers and to see things that would interest them even more. Then, in order to do that, you have tools. You have to understand the psychology of user experiences or user interfaces, the psychology behind color selection, theories of fonts and colors and spacing. That's a very important thing. So you have, when it comes to building something, whether it's just um, some kind of a brochure, whether it is something that is going to be published in different ways, maybe a physical format, or whether it is a canvas of the browser, the browser window that is going to be uh, designed in such a way to catch attention of people who visit a website, who visit a campaign, an online campaign, in order to understand how best they could benefit from it. So these are important things. Okay, justification of a campaign, content, justification of why it's in this campaign, which would promotes a particular kind of product, promotes services, and a justification of why those whatever is being promoted is good for the person who is viewing that. So these are some of the important things that come into the content development, campaign design, and of course, the proposal and the presentation. So it's always a design first. You just starts with an idea, then the idea develops into a working design, a proof of concept, and then of course comes the proposal of that proof in order to get a budget being passed. And then of course comes the presentation that would be a guideline of how these things actually work. Following up with the level three, which would take you, so this level two would take you into the level three. So, as a pre course, or let us call it as a prerequisite to the main course, this is something that everybody gets a chance to understand social media marketing or social media for marketing, social media with marketing. Okay, the fundamentals for how is used in an e-commerce concept here. So understanding e-commerce itself. So basically, e-commerce, which means commerce done on an electronic portal, in an electronic way. Okay, so that's basically what we are looking at, and social media as a target here. Of course, now looking at how the course would be implemented, you have assessments which would be run. So there's an overview of the different kinds of assessments. The assessments and assignments are based upon this evidence that there is engagement during the course. There is a lot of learning that happens through adaptive methods. Being able to understand situations and scenarios and tasks, and to be able to implement it in a peer-to-peer format. That is a lot of discussions in the classroom, in the virtual classroom, or in the real classroom, as it is in this case. In this case, it would be an in-person. So basically, how to be able to interact with others, to work as a team, to work in a peer to peer environment, to have and bounce ideas of each other, including, of course, the instructor or the facilitator for this learning. Okay, so that's how assessments and assignments will be carried out. There will be, outcomes for different types of learning, and there would be assessments based on those outcomes with certain weightages. So it is a serious attempt to take a whole set of interested learners and bring them into the level three course from Gateway. Okay, the level three course for social media and marketing. Okay, so these are some of the things that you would experience as part of the learning in this course. Now, the requirements and the progression of this learner entry requirements: minimum age 90. There is no prior course or prior qualifications. The prerequisites: learners should have basic digital skills, because that is something, of course, we know everybody today has the basic digital skills. All of us work with various types of digital equipment, whether it's smartphones or tablets or laptops or desktops and other kinds of things. We still are familiar with quite a few tools which are available on that, which would be used during this course. Written and verbal communication skills and things like that, familiarity with social media platforms and, how these things work. So these are some of the requirements and the resources that everybody would be expected to use or to have available at their disposal would be internet enabled computer devices. Okay, access to platforms, because obviously there would be interaction with that. Then web and social media analytics. So certain kinds of analytics, which would be the free ones, which are available, design software, and of course presentation softwares. So there would be quite a bit of learning with these tools which are available, toolkits. The progression here is to the level 3. That is what we are looking at. Of course, the level 3 would enable you to have a better option at the market, at the job market. So this is social media marketing fundamentals for e-commerce. Um, yes, let me have a look at. Are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions for me based on what we've spoken about so far? I stopped sharing my screen so that I could see this window. Okay, so if we do not have any questions, I assume that everything is quite clear. Let me share it once again, the window. And so, fine. I'll move on to the next one now. So, the level 2 course, or as we would consider the prerequisite to the level 3, that would give sufficient time for a whole lot of interested learners here to be able to acquire and understand social media marketing fundamentals for e-commerce and progress towards the level 3 here. So this is the level 3 that we are talking about. It's gateway qualifications, level 3 certificate in social media for e-commerce. So the qualification level is 3, equivalent to an A level. The awarding organization is Gateway Qualifications. Okay, so this is something that has high value and um, a fantastic addition to anyone's resume. So the primary objectives here, what are we looking at? So the idea here is to equip learners with the knowledge, the skills in being able to manage social media platforms for e-commerce purposes, either for themselves or for an organization they work with. So the idea here is to be able to leverage social media in order to acquire interest from the social media database or the social media um, itself. Yeah. So develop proficiency in project management methodologies. So obviously now we are going into level 3, so there has to be good idea about project management, because when something has started, when there is an intent to go ahead with a certain set of tasks in order to acquire certain information or data, or um, an idea of being able to initiate activities like a campaign management. So product management methodologies, very important, and these project management methodologies based on digital marketing. Okay, so it's social media, that is basically what we are talking about here. So it's more focused to the social media side. The marketing here, the digital marketing, basically on running on a digital platform here. Understanding project management methodologies for that, create, implement, analyze social media campaigns, existing campaigns, case studies of what has happened, understanding success stories and things like that. Enable learners to understand the metrics of digital marketing, which is important here because at the end of the day, it's the metrics that give you, an idea of performance, a prediction of performance, analytics, return on investment, measurements. So budgeting now becomes all the more possible when there's a prediction on a return of investment, compliance with the legal, ethical, accessibility requirements. So there are many things like that which are also important to take into consideration. So the primary objective of this is to enable learners to acquire skills in these areas. Competencies that are going to be developed as strategic planning. So the whole idea here is strategizing and being able to implement those strategies. In order to do that, content management, content creation, different kinds of content, okay, data driven decision making using tools, analysis, predictive, technical skills for content management systems, content developed and being hosted on platforms, graphic designing. Like I said, the idea of being able to build, visibility using tried and tested success factors. Marketing automation, being able to run campaigns, certain parts of campaign automatically, understanding digital marketing challenges, solutions. So there's a whole quite a bit of skill that would be acquired here, which would open up lots of opportunities once this is over. The target audience for this, the primary thing is of course the level two, but the target audience we are looking at is those who would like to sketch a career pathway in digital marketing, career changers moving from something into e-commerce or from any other kind of technical or non-technical domain and getting into something that would use social media as one of the primary resources to be able to acquire and optimize data and information from an e-commerce point of view. Small business owners, marketing professionals, individuals seeking progression, primarily into areas of niche areas or areas in the current domain, which have high value, which have high requirement. So the content that's covered here is project management, planning, monitoring, evaluation, technical skills in the form of platforms for CMS or content management systems, graphic designing, understanding some fundamentals about that, working with graphic design software, analytical tools, so understanding marketing itself, strategies, and usage of content in a marketing concept or in a marketing environment, search engine optimization, social media marketing, in a business context, you have e-commerce itself, understanding e-commerce operations. Like I mentioned, customer journey. A customer journey would start from the interest that customer would actually, show in a product, and then being targeted as part of a campaign or at a latter part when it comes to prospect management, or basically acquiring, taking a set of leads and turning them into prospective customers, and being able to run value propositions and other kinds of things to bring somebody into being deeply interested in a product and thereby purchasing the product and maintaining a relationship with somebody who has purchased a product in the form of support and after sales. So it's very important because that is something that would lead to more purchases, that leads to loyalty management. It leads to a lot of fantastic things. And e-commerce, as you know, is big. It's big. So that's what you would have here. And of course, there's professional skills which would also be honed. So it's very important uh, in today's work environment to possess a wide range of professional skills, ability to work with team. So these are some of the things that would bring added value to this course here. Employability skills, so professional skills in terms of behaving like a professional, working with other professionals, employability skills of being able to build a portfolio or build effective resumes and be able to have an effective digital presence. So if uh, in this particular case, especially, if students are going to learn how to be able to target social media to acquire information about interested parties or acquire information about success of particular products, why not also consider oneself or one's offering in terms of skill to organizations as social media marketing for a person, one's resume, one's skill set, using sites like LinkedIn effectively, using other employability sites and other kinds of other means in which visibility is something that could be targeted here. So these are multiple things that come under um, the target audience, the scope. What would be the learning outcomes? So obviously now the learning outcomes, you're looking at various various skills from management, and of course skills from analytics, skills from platforms. So these are some of the things, together of course with whenever there is a dealing of data, there is data privacy, data security, there is online privacy and security. These are some of the things that will also be acquired here as skills. And the outcomes from this is to be able to plan, implement, monitor campaigns based upon social media for e-commerce offerings and things like that, designing digital graphics, creating and working with digital presence. So optimize things like websites which bring information about products to the to the open community or to the entire World Wide Web, content management systems. So these are some of the things that would be the skills outcome from a course like this. Professional outcome, of course, to work independently or to work collaboratively. So that's a wonderful thing, to be an independent consultant, to be work in a hybrid mode, having an employment, but also providing consultancy. So these are fantastic things that you could look at in the future, going forward with skills like this and build on skills like this. To be able to make data driven decisions, that's very important. When you have data and you need to make decisions based upon focused analysis. So that's what you're looking at. Adapt to changing the digital marketing landscapes. So we know lots of phase shifts earlier used to happen uh, maybe once in 2 years. However, now a major phase shift is happening almost 6 to 8 months down the line. It's a little less than in a year. And when I say phase shift, I mean a complete new, new methodology, new tools available, a new approach comes into the market here, and being able to adapt and utilize these progressive things that are there. So these are some of the things which would be the learning outcomes. Now, the course structure here, it's prescribed. It's a gateway qualifications level 3 certificate for social media for e-commerce. In social media for e-commerce, that's a title, and it's an A level equivalent. There is a mandatory unit and there are specialist units. So the mandatory unit would be project management. We will look at that. And the specialized units, there are six. We are offering four of them. So these are the four that we have been selected to offer. And it's fantastic that we have an opportunity to offer something like this. These are four wonderful units that bring a lot of value to the course. Okay, you're looking at 210 guided learning hours with an additional 30 hours for professional and employability skills. So breaking this down from the structure, the mandatory unit is project management, as we see here, project management, and there is a week by week breakdown. This is information that could be given to you in if you require it in some form of a mail format or in any other format. So that would be a week by week breakdown for this. You are looking at something here that basically 42 guided learning hours for an individual or for a single module. And accordingly, we would see how we would break this down into the number of weeks here. So you're looking at specialist units here. So these are the specialist units which go along with the mandatory unit here. And the first one is content management. And then we look at content marketing. So being able to create and host and make available content for the purpose of marketing products for e-commerce, followed by the strategies towards the content marketing, whatever has been made to be able to actually implement it and to be able to make it accessible to a wider audience here. We would follow that up with digital marketing metrics and analytics, which now become very important for decision making, or data driven decision making. And then, of course, social media marketing itself, which focuses on social media awareness, acquisition, retention, platform selection. So these are many of the things here. There are many tools. There are legal and compliance requirements that would be dealt with here. And these are the specialist units, the four specialist units that we offer: content management, content marketing, digital metrics, digital marketing metrics, and of course, social media marketing. How are assessments done? The assessments again are done based upon outcome with evidence. So your learning outcomes, what kind of outcomes would be based upon the topics that are being taught and engagement that happens during the learning. Okay, that's a grading criteria, which basically means a certain percentage would be the benchmark for a pass. We would have merit and distinction also. And understand that this is basically something that is recommended and implemented to follow by Gateway. Job roles and progression. So there are lovely jobs available in the market here. So I've just given you a few of them here on the screen. You could look at them from a UK-wide perspective. You could look at them from a local or around in the area perspective also. So there are, as you understand, it being social media, it being digital marketing with social media, it being equivalent to project management for the purpose of campaigns and product proposals or product offerings for e-commerce. So you would have all kinds of jobs related to that. Okay. And how do you think this is going to be delivered? So the delivery here is blended learning. Okay, there would be remote and in-person learning. There would be interaction with guest speakers, case study analysis, project work, peer-to-peer. That's very important. A lot of peer-to-peer engagement because today people learn by bouncing ideas off each other, and everybody brings something valuable to the table. Everybody brings ideas. Today, the world is so much more aware of, many things like concepts and success factors and many of these things. So the resources required is it is ideal to have the best kind of a device to be able to work with this and to be able to when it is required, download and install certain softwares or to be able to access certain tools which are available, free tools and other things. The support, of course, would be instructor availability, mentor availability, and resources towards content and supplementary materials. So these are some of the things that will automatically be made available for the implementation of this level 3 course. Okay, so let me just get down to the Teams window, and it'd be wonderful if there are some questions that I would be able to answer. So please go ahead. Let me know what interests you. Let me just update this window so that I could see any questions. So, Anonymous, 8 minutes ago, I'm running a small shop in Newham. How this course can help me? I'm eligible. Am I eligible for this program? You are eligible. So, how this course can help you is it would enable you to learn various ways in which you could leverage social media as a platform together with cloud computing or being able to access, you know, web oriented digital visibility. So that's what this course is going to enable you to be able to acquire as a skill. And whether you use it with your business as a self-employed, successful self-employed business and bringing more success to your business now, that is something that you could, definitely acquire from this course. I have another question here. So, have I answered your question? I don't have a name here. It's anonymous, but I hope I've answered that question. All right, let me go down to the next one. Anonymous again, so I do not know who I'm addressing to, but it's lovely anyway to address you. Hi, Michael. Thanks for the information. Let me know what is the process of getting into this course. Yeah. So, there would be an expression of interest through the website. And of course, there would be follow up from Prime Talent to be able to give you the pathway in which now you could start talking to the right person here who would give you more information and set up, discussions as next steps. This is virtual. I mean, our initial stages are entirely virtual. So we would start with that. And once you get all the information, then you would have much more to go on. But as an expression of interest from you, that would be fantastic for us to have. And we could follow up on that and we could, interest you a little bit more. And then we would also look at the options that would enable it to be successful for every individual. So we would look at many more optimizations that we could actually make so that maximum benefit or maximum students benefit from something like this. Cost, yep, this is something that is handled by your council because the council is very interested in building up a resource pool of prospective employees, prospective self-employed service providers, also who can employ others. So councils today in the UK, yeah, of course, we this is a fantastic opportunity to open out to everybody so that they would come in and acquire these kind of skills and they would utilize them. So cost wise, it's not going to cost you anything more than the time you're going to spend here, and that would be something really worthwhile. Okay, so that's primarily what we are looking at here. Okay. Are there any more questions? Let me refresh this window. I have a few more questions here. Oh, there are quite a bit. So let me start from the top because I don't know how this is showing. It's showing me the latest, I guess. So let me start from where I am. Lem, uh, student exploring career options. How long does it usually take for a complete beginner to become job ready through this program? So the program itself runs for 2 weeks as a prerequisite program, a level 2 program, and then an 8-week program. So you're looking at 10 weeks here. But in addition to that, all the skills you acquire through your learning at university and maybe suggestions from us as you become more focused towards what is your goal. Where do you look at yourself 2 years from now, or where do you look at yourself 6 months from now? To be able to understand that and acquire additional skills, additional support, additional learning that would focus you on a career path that could be and successful given the amount of time and energy you put into it. Yep. So it depends upon you entirely. It could be anywhere from 3 months and above. I would say that. Um, Marcus, trying to upskill, Marcus, fantastic place you've come to. Tools or skills you would teach would make the biggest difference when applying for entry level jobs. So the very fact that you learn tools and skills you acquire like this way, and then the very fact that you do a lot of practical work, you do adaptive learning, you do learning based upon scenarios, not just learning theoretical information, but learning information and applying it. So also acquiring content, acquiring and working with the tools available that have and are going to enhance education itself. AI tools which are available today are primarily now being focused into education oriented support. So you will see a lot to gain from working with AI tools available, the generative AI tools which are available, tools that allow you to be able to suggest or to request something which is focused to what you want, and to be able to build these things which we call prompts, to be able to build these queries or to build these requirements and requests and structure them, and then use these tools available to be able to get information which was also structured and enables you to understand it even better and to be able to maybe take it forward also. So yeah, that's what you are looking at picking up here. And uh, the skills which we teach would make the biggest difference. I would say the skills here are varied. You first of all learn to leverage social media for its data and for be able to use that data to analyze multiple things. Okay. Uh, Especially we are talking in terms of product and product related success, the launch of products, and to be able to predict success, because there is always money involved, the optimization of that money based upon timelines of success, so that it would build on that. So these are some of the things that you would learn here. These are skills best acquired with instructor guidance and hands-on, peer-to-peer adaptive learning. So that's the strong point here. Of course, professional skills. So being able to work together is the first step towards being professional, because that's the way it works in corporate or in domains where teams are. So being able to adapt to each other and to be able to learn from each other, to be able to break things down, to break ideas down, and to be able to deep dive. So these are some of the things that you will learn here. And let me tell you, these things are best acquired when you have instructor led or instructor guided or instructor assisted. So that's what would make the difference here. David, looking for a career in digital. Yes, that's fantastic. How does your training help learners keep up with the changes in the UK marketing industry? Well, what we are looking at here in the marketing industry is to be able to succeed, with product proposals and to be able to enhance sales. In order to be able to enhance sales, you've got to be able to understand the dynamics behind that. And then those dynamics are controlled by metrics. And those metrics are controlled by the data, to be able to acquire data, to clean the data, to collate the data, to be able to align it towards other data. So, and then to be able to generate metrics, and to be able to predict predictive analysis. So these are some of the things. Uh, so that's what this course is all about. Fast changes in the marketing industry or marketing in general is all about the changes that happen in data acquisition, data collation, okay, and then of course utilization. So the information that is gleaned from all this data and being focused in different areas according to the requirements of an organization in an e-commerce domain. So that's what, David. That's what you are going to be exposed to here, and I'm sure you will pick up skills, variety of skills here. Hannah, yes, Hannah, you work in retail. So, yeah, that's fantastic. I need to understand whether the program teaches how to look at a business and identify what kind of content it actually needs rather than just posting for the sake of it. Yeah, it's very important. That's a very, very good question here. To be able to look at the data and then extract the data which is very focused towards an outcome. It's not just about posting for the sake of it. So it's about learning to understand the value of the unstructured data that is available to be able to get it, acquire it, and then to be able to structure it and focus it towards a particular outcome. So every campaign is designed to a particular outcome, and every product that is being put forth in the market has its own dynamics. So to be able to use this data to enable this product to succeed in the market. So that's the important thing here. So it's a learning of multiple things. It's a learning of project management for strategizing. It's a learning of acquiring data. It's a learning of making that data useful. It's a learning of optimizing, focusing that data towards a means to an end, and it's all about then being able to make that data visible and collecting information towards product sales, towards the success of sales of a product or the success of running campaigns to be able to take it forward. There's a lot of things involved. It's not just the product, it's not just the platform, it's also the territory, it's also predictions based on competitors. There's quite a bit of things here. So yeah, I'm sure Hannah, you would enjoy this course and what you get to learn out of it. So I really hope you do. Sarah, yes, Sarah, towards becoming a content creator, lovely. You cover tools like Canva, that's nice. Scheduling platforms, or you want to know, will we cover stuff like that? Yes, we will. We will be covering stuff like that. It falls into the curriculum, and there would be, content, learning content. Okay, there would also be a lot of activities to work with these tools. So it's not just about learning something; it's about learning and then being able to apply it, and to apply it from a market standard, not for some simple examples. So the whole idea here to have scenario-based learning is to be able to understand application of your skills, application of what you learn in a market oriented fashion, in a market oriented environment. So there will be scenario based learnings, as I mentioned, adaptive, to be put in a position where there are situations and as to work together, peer to peer, to work with teams, and the teams work peer to be able to generate outcomes from that. So these are some of the things that you will learn from here. Oliver, aiming to get into the creative sector. How does this program help us to build a portfolio that really stands out? Yep, portfolio is it's multiple things. Okay, first of all, there's project management. Okay, to be able to understand working with the methodologies of implementation and agile and scrum method, and to work with collaborative tools available. Then that takes you forward into content itself, content platforms, and organizing content based upon an outcome. It takes you to understand those kind of tools and things like that. So yeah, There's quite a lot. There's UI, UX, user experiences, user interfaces, understanding websites, or digital exposure of learning, understanding products and things like that. As I said, so the program would help in all these ways. Yes. So I think, let me see some more messages. I'm going from the top. Yeah, Akshat, yes, this is something I would also second. Everybody, I would second Akshat here. Everybody, please go down to this primetalent.com site. The link is there. Understand a bit more, and then reach out to us for more information. Reach out to us, show us the interest that the curiosity that you have, and we'll organize even more interaction with you to be able to break it down further, to narrow it down to exactly what you are looking for, and you would have a very clear cut idea of how you're going to spend your time here and what you would look at acquiring 10 to 12 weeks down the line. So I think I've covered all the questions here. That's what I've seen. And yep, is there anything else? So lovely talking to all of you. And I do hope you send in your requirements for further information, and our team will reach out to you, and we could help you out with to understand it even better. And if you require any other kind of information, data, and other kinds of things, our team would definitely be happy to bring that to you also. Yeah. So, how are we placed with the? Yeah. No more questions, I guess. So, I'll say bye, and I hope I see you again as we draw closer towards the implementation of the course. Um, I would definitely love to have you all part of this course. And of course, we do have another post here right now. Ajay. Hey, Ajay. Okay, the other two are very focused towards digital marketing. So you have social media for marketing, and you have digital marketing, which is much more focused and requires more time. So we have been identified to have just these four units as the specialist units. And we look forward to bringing in that in another set of in another schedule, which we would be talking to with the councils and things like that, based upon the gateway guidance. Does that cover all the essentials? Yes, as you say, digital marketing is the entry enough to set up as a self-employed to offer digital marketing services? It should be, because you will learn quite a bit here. And I'm sure you also carry quite a lot of other skills. So, setting up self employed is something we could definitely help you with, because we do that also as a value add. And yep, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful to see somebody who would come in here with something like that. So, Ajay, you have another question. I've just seen that. What are the other? Oh, it's the same thing, right? Okay, yeah. I think I've answered that. Anybody else? Any other questions? If there isn't, let me just say that it was wonderful talking to you. It was wonderful introducing these two courses, the primary one and the one which would be the prerequisite. So that, we would start off with everybody, we would start the primary course with everybody on the same page. So we would not have somebody who would come in and would require adaptation. So we would start off the primary course with a bang straight away. Everybody would be on the same page. The prerequisite is something where we would, uh, get learners who are moving into this domain for the first time, or somebody who is looking at looking at a combination of technical and information and functional things like that, getting to work, and looking at data in general, looking at enterprise or e-commerce, and marketing as a domain of e-commerce. It's a fantastic domain. Marketing is a fantastic domain, and with the tools available to be able to generate, let me tell you, to be able to generate prediction models, especially today when we have AI and LLM, which is literally growing at such an exponential rate, to be able to understand how we could leverage something that right now is available for us. Okay, before they put a cap on it and start charging for too much, which I believe that that could only lead to something which would drop in its market access, because there are quite a few vendors and all are doing pretty well. So, yeah, to be in this situation today, and to be able to have tools like this, to be able to have knowledge or acquire knowledge of how to use these tools, and to take it to the most important, the most important area here. So, business analysis with finance in mind. It's all about optimizing finances. It's all about optimizing and predicting return on investment. So these are the important things here. So I really hope all of you find interest in this and reach out to us at the link that has been given here. It's been wonderful talking to you all, and I hope to see you all again. Bye bye.